Everyone seems to agree that the league's strongest team is the Bulls, and they, of course, reside in the East. But that's about all people agree on. Which is the better conference? It depends on who you ask.
It's the best in the East, going against the best in the West.
One conference lives for the fast break. The other conference loves its half-court style of play. Which is the best?
The competition in the West has been stronger than I've ever seen it since I've been in the league. That's 30 years. Teams like Sacramento are improving, the Clippers, Seattle, I mean, you name them one after the other. They seem to be getting stronger and stronger. And I think the reason is that, you know, they've gradually built up with good picks, and now those kids have matured, and now they're dominant players.
I don't think there is a better conference. I think you've got great teams on both ends. I know a lot of people out west like to talk about the great teams out there. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think you had a New York or Cleveland ourselves. I don't think their teams out there are any better than any of our teams.
When the Lakers were winning, they were playing that Showtime basketball, fast break. Now, everybody wants to be like the Lakers, okay? Everybody wants to run and fast break and look pretty. So now everybody's saying, oh, hey, you know, this is how they play, a non-physical game.
The West is more wide open. They open the game up more. It's more of a running game. The East is more conservative, bump and grind, everything in the trenches where you battle it, kind of like gladiators.
Eastern Conference teams will wrestle you out of position. They rarely allow easy baskets. The West is loaded with great athletes. They will try to run right by the opposition.
I've actually said the word to my team this year, play out of control. Let me coach you down from out of control rather than trying to pick you up faster.
I think the East is better with tougher, well-known. Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing symbolize the East. Bill Lambert symbolize the East. Dennis Rodman, hard-hitting, big guys. And the East Coast is definitely, you know, coal-miner's attitude.
You know, the Pistons in Chicago, you know, Cleveland, those teams, they come with that roughhouse defense, and then they have a reputation for it. So the officials tend to let them do more of it.
The West will continue to run, while the East will remain deliberate. However, for the defending champions, conference styles or records hardly matter. They're able to dictate the style of play that suits them the best.
You know, we've had 8 teams in the last 2 or 3 years that win 50 games, but I don't know, because the West is so balanced that they beat each other up, and once it gets in the finals, it doesn't have anything left.
It all comes down in the playoffs to playing the way Chicago plays, we play, New York plays, Cleveland plays to win playoff games. You're not going to be able to get 115. You might get 110 if you're lucky. More likely it's going to be 105 to 98.
Okay, let's throw the question out to this august panel as Bob Ferry and Peter Vesey join us. Which is best, East or West?
Well, I don't think it's a case of which is best. I just think that the Eastern Conference teams, there are some of them that can play the Western style and vice versa. There are some teams in each conference that can play both styles. But I think Olden Polynice said it best, that when the Lakers won the championship, the teams in that conference copied them. When the Pistons won it in the East, the teams copied them.
Well, that happens in the NBA. Everybody follows a leader in style of play. You have right now, you have the Detroit Pistons who set the tone for all this in the Eastern Conference. The Chicago Bulls are now winning with quickness, speed, and really with their defense creating a lot of offense. So until somebody beats Chicago, that's the best way to do it.
Well, I think it's a style of play. I think you've got to be able to run up and down the court because you got to get easy baskets if you're trying to get into the playoffs. But you also have to be able to play the setup, half-court offense, and when you do that, you're looking at a more physical style of play. The great teams dictate the kind of tempo in the game, and I think that's what's important, that you dictate that tempo.
Are there more good teams in the West or more good teams in the East, style aside? I think that's what it comes down to for the average fan.
I'm taking the East. I played in the Eastern Conference.
Me too. I think the West is overrated. I just like to say that after watching you for 10 years, I was amazed that you played neither style.
It doesn't make any difference. It still comes down to who's the best team there is right now in Chicago.
You know, I think it's just a question of alignment. Didn't the Bulls used to be in the Western Conference?
Well, maybe they're the best team in the West then.
Maybe it all comes down to what they do in the league office. Coming up next.